Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolé Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet. And we would like to welcome you to today's show. There's a lot going on, as always, and it's such a wonderful time to be talking about this stuff. And so, John is going to tell us more about it.
Thank you, Jolé. Yeah, I just get more and more excited about where this journey's going because these things that unfold in front of us all the time to be shared, to me, this is just all part of the ascension process now that when you're trying to do this stuff, the road gets paved for you. You just have to follow it. And the things that came through this week was very much about this continuation of this Avalon theme that we started last week with Sarah Breskman Cosme. And the interesting thing that came to me just earlier, actually, when Jolé and I were talking, is that Avalon, as we think about Avalon, of the mystical kind of realms of King Arthur and all that, Avalon is really our world of unspeakable beauty that we talk about and have talked about for many, many months. And I think you'll see that as this program unfolds, how that is in fact the case. Because this is ours to create. Avalon is a kind of a level of consciousness, and the book that Sarah has produced is quite remarkable. I mean, I've read it all once. I'm going back through it again. I have a physical copy now to add to my audio version, and it really is pretty special. And before we start on this as well, what I want to do is just again go into the QHHT side of things for anybody that's less familiar with this kind of work. Dolores Cannon was a huge exponent of this and was the creator of the quantum healing hypnosis technique. Basically, her books write themselves. Now, she had to put them into order because what she would do is she would have her clients and she would put them into a deep somnambulistic trance. And typically, they would just come back with past lives and things like that, and they would get some healing through that. But then other things started to happen, and then she started, finding out that in past lives they'd been either extraterrestrial beings or a completely different form of energy and describing what that life was like. So, what's interesting about Sarah is that she was taught by Dolores Cannon. So, she was one of Dolores's acolytes. And since Dolores has been gone now for over a decade, it's really interesting to see that Sarah now picks up on the energy of Dolores, who basically brings clients to her in all. And the way that it unfolds is quite miraculous. It's like this book has, and she will admit this, she will say this same thing. The book has kind of written itself. She's not a writer as such. She's a recorder of the information that comes through, brings it out verbatim. The clients go into a somnambulistic trance and they go back, not necessarily to past lives, but to other consciousnesses who use them who use the client as a channel to provide the information that Sarah is seeking. So I just find that this is kind of getting the personal eye view of the person who was there at the time. So you can go back in history with this. And you have to feel it for yourself, right? Because you might listen to this and think, well, I don't believe you can really do that. In which case they're just fantastic storytellers coming out with these things, which, again, everybody has to use discernment. That is what this age is all about. Don't accept things at face value, research them for yourself because there is a lot of disinformation and misinformation out there. We never ask you to believe what we believe. We just kind of like plant the seeds and you are the ones who decide whether that germinates. But this is what Sarah does. And and what really fascinating, and I mentioned this last week, Dolores' final book, which was only released in 2023, and given the fact that she died in 2014, it was finished off by her daughters. They had all the transcripts and all the work that Dolores had done to the point where she departed. And they went on and did all the research that backed it up and created the book, which was absolutely as if written by Dolores. And it's all the transcripts from the sessions she'd had, but that was called Horns of the Goddess. And that was all about the Druidic influences of the past. It was all about the connection with Mother Earth, with magic, with the way it was created. And so it's so interesting to see that Sarah's book now is almost like the follow on from that. And to me, that is a definite link that says Dolores's work and Sarah's work are kind of following on from each other. And it's amazingly profound. It's so deep. There's so much I want to do with this. And this one today that I want to share with you is very much going into the realms of fantasy, if you like. It's like the fairy tales that you heard when you were kids coming to life. Fact or fable? That is the question, right? And I just love where this takes us, really. So, Jolé, is there something you would care to add before we go into our first section?
Yeah, magic is real.
Yes, it is.
The Vatican, there's supposed to be books in the bottom of the Vatican that's were in the Bible or in this, these are theories that, talk about this type of stuff. And that dragon energy is such an amazing symbol for rebirth, movement, discipline. There's such beautiful energy in the magical creatures or the things that we believe no longer exist. And
Right.
so this is a part of the remembering. So I love what we're really talking about today and going into. And as you always say, John, you can either think about it and take it in, or you could say that it's diluted nonsense. But whatever it is, let's just have some fun and look at it from a different perspective so that we can expand.
Yes. Well said, Jolé. Well said. And certainly in terms of the church, they did their best to crush this for thousands of years. So they actually were quite successful in doing it, but now is the time of remembering. So,
Exactly.
all right, lovely. Well, we're going to hit that button. Everybody, get yourself ready. Get your cranial retention helmets on because your mind might just be blown.
Do you still have a physical body? Yes. When I choose to enter the Earth's frequency, I reside in the area you now call the United Kingdom. If someone were to enter my cave, they would feel my presence strongly. And if they are attuned, they may even see me. I move between worlds, but I am still connected to this Earth. At present, I am exploring the Dragon Kingdoms. These realms are vast, filled with beings of immense power and wisdom. The dragons are majestic, free, and deeply connected to magic. Their realm is higher dimensional, yet it retains a physicality. They possess their own hierarchy, their own evolution, and a mastery over magic that rivals any that I have encountered. Can people work with dragons? Working with dragons is as simple as asking. Once you enter into a relationship with their realm, you are imbued with power, protection, and magic.
Are you really meaning dragons? Or are you saying metaphorically dragons?
Yeah. So I am literally saying dragons, as mad as that is to believe. And I say this as someone who, even though I was having out-of-body experiences where I was literally meeting angels and talking to them like face to face, I didn't believe in dragons until like 3 years ago. I was an atheist, right? And I studied medicine and then psychology. Like I published scientific papers so that I can hear myself speaking and I'm like, it's all crap. There's this like skeptical part of me still. And in some ways that's good because it keeps me grounded. The black dragon, Gorkoreth, he's closely connected to the underworld and these topics that we're talking about, so I think he'll have some good insights. And I say this not to frighten anyone, actually the opposite. You are going through what the Norse called Ragnarok. You are going through the end of days. It's often misunderstood as somehow the final ending, which it isn't. It's an ending. An ending brings a rebirth. They say that the cosmos is a single living being, and the dragons of the rising rose connect to different chakras. So there's a red root chakra dragon, there's an orange sacral chakra dragon, and it goes through all of them, right? And what they will say is, we are part of the cosmic chakra. So the red root chakra dragon is part of the cosmic root chakra. And he would say his body is located inside the cosmic root chakra. So imagine that, like, the cosmos is unimaginably vast, right? But that it has a center, it has a middle, a heart, just like a living being. It has this heart, which is like the center of its life force. And that's where the chakras are based, like in the middle. In us, it's like in the center of our body, right? It's in the center, the middle. And you can imagine it being the same for the cosmos. Logically, I can look around at all the different cultures of the earth, and they almost all of them have dragon images or myths. So one of them, the green dragon of the heart, Balthasar, he's spoken about being part of Lemuria. So like ancient civilization going back many thousands of years, and that he played a role in certain Lemurian societies, and that at certain times in the history of the earth, dragons could physically incarnate as dragons and walk the earth. And one of the root chakra dragon, Vir, has spoken about the time of Atlantis, and that he supported a group of Atlantean mages, the Order Asperiatus.
So, dragons, fact or fable? One of the most amazing things about this journey of remembering is realizing that the fairy tales that I heard as a child are steeped in truth, and dragons are just one facet of that. I was recently reintroduced to Jack Morrigan's work by David, who's our community member who lives in the Rockies. And Jack's channeled dragon meditations are pretty special. I'll attach one to the newsletter for you to experience for yourselves. And it's funny that Jack still sees the ridiculousness of channeling dragons, even though he now knows it to be true. But dragons can definitely help us in this ascension journey. I have quite a few dragon-related artifacts in my study, and I was told by Aveen Murray, our incredible multimodal healer, that I had been receiving dragon energy, and that Merlin's influence came in too. And that was at my last quantum light pod healing session I had with Aveen. My mind never ceases to be boggled by this new information, but I kind of feel that this elevated planet journey is on track for where it is supposed to be. I also believe that the right people join our community at the right time. We were told that for us, it's more about the quality of our community rather than the quantity. So if you happen to tune into this broadcast and you find that it resonates, have a word with your intuition to see if the time is right for you to join us on this journey. If it is, email me at johndrew@elevatedplanet.life or use our website, which is elevatedplanet.life/contact page, and you'll have done all you need to be part of our community. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube too. Anyway, moving on back to Avalon, we have the wisdom of Merlin once more, this time explaining the roles of angels and demons, but be prepared for a surprise.
Is there a difference between archangels and other angels? Indeed, there is a significant difference. An archangel is a composite being, an amalgamation of highly evolved souls brought together for a singular purpose in the service of divine will. These are profound beings, much greater than the sum of their parts. However, what you might think of as an individual angel is often a single soul, still on their path of growth. They too experience evolution, but they do so by serving others, offering guidance, protection, and intervention when it is needed. They might prevent injury or step in at pivotal moments to ensure that a soul completes their journey. But their role is more specific, more personal compared to the grand cosmic duties of an archangel. Do all angels have the same knowledge and ideals? No, they do not. Their understanding varies, depending on where they are in their own growth. Some angels are still evolving, learning through their acts of service, while others have gained a far deeper understanding through their experiences. Each angel is unique, just as every human soul is, and they are at different stages of their own journey. Is there such a thing as a fallen angel? Ah, that is a misunderstanding born of human perception. What you call fallen angels are not beings cast away from God, but rather those who chose, out of love, to lower their vibration, to act as a buffer. These angels took on a difficult role, stepping into a lower vibrational state to prevent the further spread of negative energy. They form a kind of boundary, holding back the darkness, ensuring it does not spiral into total degradation. This role is demanding, and they endure great hardship, but they do it in service to the greater good. So Lucifer? Yes, Lucifer. There is much misunderstanding here. The being most known as Lucifer took on one of the most challenging roles, to act as the boundary point, a mirror to reflect the degradation of energy back toward its source, to stop it from sinking further. Lucifer did not fall in the way that many stories claim. He willingly chose this path, acting as a beacon, turning others back toward the light by serving as a stop to the descent into chaos. He exists in both states. He experiences the lower realms of vibration, but also retains his connection to the higher realms of love. It is a dual existence, one of immense responsibility and sacrifice. How do these beings buffer negative energy? They prevent the negative energy from descending further into chaos. From time to time, they intervene, swatting down the energetic imprints of what you call archon energy, or dark forces. Without their intervention, this energy would continue spiraling downward, feeding upon itself, becoming darker and more destructive. They allow the energy to express itself to a point, but when it reaches a critical threshold, they step in to halt its spread. They are not alone in this task. They are supported by other beings, what you might refer to as the demonic realm, although that too is misunderstood. Are demons not evil? No, they are not evil, although I understand the confusion. These beings also serve as buffers, holding negative energy in check. They exist within very dense, dark frequencies, but their purpose is not to promote evil, it is to contain it. They act as a barrier to prevent negative intentions from fully manifesting in the world. While some humans invoke these beings for power or malevolent purposes, it is a profound misunderstanding. The darkness that manifests is often within the person themselves, not emanating from the beings. These demons, as you call them, actually prevent the worst of these intentions from spreading like a contagion. They isolate the energy, keeping it from infecting others. Their role is difficult, often misunderstood, but ultimately, they too are a part of a greater cosmic order, one that serves to maintain balance. They are beings who dwell in the depths of negative energy, acting as sentinels. Their purpose is to prevent this energy from spiraling out of control. Yes, their realm is dark. Their work is grim, but they are not the source of malevolence they contain. They simply work within it, ensuring that the destructive forces of human intention do not wreak greater havoc. And when people, misguided by their own desires, seek to control or manipulate these beings, they fail to see the truth. The darkness they think they are summoning is already within them.
I had never realized that archangels were composite beings, as in an amalgamation of highly evolved souls, but it really does make sense. Much like the Z's channeled by Lee Harris, who we love to call on from time to time, they are a galactic collective of 88 here to help us on the Ascension journey. The idea of this collective energy makes so much sense, much like when we as humans gather our collective intentions together to create our world of unspeakable beauty. We become significantly more powerful than when we are setting our individual intentions, which are fragmented relative to collective consciousness. 10 people focused on the same intention give a power of 100, as the number is squared. So just imagine 1,000 people provide the power of 1,000,000. Yes, when focused, we have the ability to move mountains, and that isn't just a metaphor, as we will grow to understand over time. Meanwhile, the description of other angels made me think of the classic movie, It's a Wonderful Life, where George Bailey's guardian angel by the name of Clarence helped George cope with this unfolding life drama. Looking back, that movie was divinely inspired in its accurate yet comedic description of an angelic role. And as for fallen angels and demons, I love the way that this is explained, and it does help take away the fear that some might feel on this subject matter. They exist to prevent negative energy from spiraling out of control. Therefore, we don't need to fear them, we need to honor them for this incredible sacrifice that they are making to help humanity. Okay, Jolé, what would you care to add?
You know, we are a microcosm of everything. And when we think about angels and demons, we can see them in a way as thoughts, the things that go on in our mind. And we realize the mind is dual, right? We have the right and left brain, sort of like angels and demons. You know, you see that old trope of the angel sitting on one shoulder and the devil sitting on the other. And what this energy is talking to is to really transmute all of that duality and all of that separation and realizing that everything is energy. It's not good or bad, it's not dark or light. We use these descriptors because they just help us to understand better. However, this is all in the mind. And one of the most beautiful things we can do is bring our awareness, once we curate our thoughts, which we've been talking about, bring our awareness down into our heart and see how these things make us feel. And as we move into more love and more integrity, the one thing that underscores everything with the integrity is that authenticity. Really being real with yourself, real with how much your negativities in your life, and really moving towards an energy that supports you in a loving way. So full circle, I believe that these angels and demons manifest within us as our thoughts, and really starting to let go of some of the thoughts that no longer serve you and sitting in the ones that do. And then really feeling that energy is a great way to connect with Mother Earth and let her know what you want.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, I love it. Keep it authentic. And yeah, this is a great opportunity. Thank you, Jolé. Okay, so back to Merlin to help us understand more about humanity's true galactic history and our protectors.
What about the Nephilim? The Nephilim are an ancient race, giants who once walked the earth. Their intentions toward humanity were far from benevolent. They sought power, dominance, and control. In time, they left this planet, though remnants of their presence still exist. There are chambers where some have been kept in stasis, hidden away from the world. Their energy lingers in those places, a shadow of what once was. Are they different from the Anunnaki? Yes, they are distinct. The Nephilim came from the Orion Nebula, a different origin than the Anunnaki. Some of the bones of giants that have been found are the remnants of these beings, but they are higher intergalactic collectives that act as protectors of Earth. You may know them as the White Brotherhood. This name has nothing to do with race, but with frequency. They, along with the Galactic Council of Light and positive extraterrestrial races, intervened to prevent the Nephilim from enacting their will on this planet. Faced with this opposition, the Nephilim had two choices: leave or be destroyed. They chose to depart. You mentioned that you had contact with beings you described as light beings and Andromedins. Could you tell me more about why Andromedins? The Andromedins, in their wisdom, were deeply involved in cleansing and healing the land where I resided. At that time, the earth was weighed down by the accumulated trauma of war, conquest, and religious conflict. The Andromedins worked to open portals to perform cleansing rituals, restoring the energy of the land. Their presence was not random. They were there because they have a profound gift for shifting and transmuting dense, negative energy. Their role, in part, was to ensure that the Earth's evolution could continue, even amidst the darkness. Why did the land need cleansing? Humanity, during that time was embroiled in brutality. The scars of religious wars, the violence of invading armies, and the warrior's mentality had left a deep psychic wound upon the earth. Trauma doesn't just fade. It imprints itself into the very soil. Over time, these scars build up, creating energetic blockages that hinder the natural flow of life. This is true in your time as well. Wherever there has been great suffering, the land retains that energy. The Andromedins and others come to assist in healing this energy, helping to lift the vibration of the planet so that growth and renewal can continue. The Andromedins excel in this type of work. Their race is particularly adept at transmuting harsh, stagnant energies. They understand the delicate balance of planetary frequencies and how to shift them back into harmony. During my time, they were also in contact with the Druids and other groups around the world, teaching them to work with nature and the elemental energies to heal the land. They were not just visitors, they were guides, helping those who were attuned to nature understand the deeper workings of energy and vibration. Did the Andromedans pass along any symbols or records that we might still find today? Indeed they did. They shared specific methods for trauma clearing, using light and energy. They taught the Druids how to use light symbols to heal the energetic fields of people and the earth. One of these symbols, which they often used, looks like an H, with curved lines, like the crescent of a full moon. By drawing these symbols onto a person's energy field and infusing them with light, they could pull trauma and heavy energy out of the body, restoring balance. If someone were to try this even today, they would immediately feel the symbol's cleansing power working deeply within their energetic system. It begins to clear blockages, releasing stagnant energies and bringing a profound sense of healing. As the symbol activates, it resonates through every cell, purifying and aligning, leaving a feeling of lightness, balance, and renewal. This energy reconnects them to the pure healing forces beyond our world.
Thank you, Merlin. I find it really interesting that energy lingers in the places where extreme events have happened. And this takes me back to what Jim Self told us a few months ago, explaining that the Earth had to purge itself of the negative energies that were embedded as a result of wars and other planetary abuse. This might well result in weather events, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, etc., or hopefully the Andromedans get there first to do what they do best, clearing the energy. And as I was listening to this, I started to think again of Aveen Murray, our extraordinary multimodal healer, particularly because I remembered that Merlin had linked with Aveen directly on several occasions, and on one occasion Merlin told her that she needed a wand, and the next day she was contacted by a lady in America who had made a wand that she wanted to gift to her. A very powerful wand that further accentuates the energies. And Aveen knows she has links to Andromeda, and one of the things that she did in recent years was an energy clearing in the Atlas Mountains in Morocco, just as her star lineage would have had her do. These things are not coincidences, and there are many starseeds bringing their light and their talents to the world. Even beyond that, Aveen's quantum light pod healing module was brought to her by 3 extraterrestrial beings who assist her in the actual healings. And I can tell you they are quite a remarkable experience. As for Earth's real history, as opposed to the educational system or religious versions, I believe this is about to receive a major overhaul as part of this time where manipulation of the truth comes to light. What Merlin shares with us here will just be a tiny fraction of what is about to be revealed, and it will be very empowering for humanity.
Are the mists that covered Avalon still there? Yes, but not as thick as they once were. Now anyone could potentially find and access Avalon. Why is that? It's symbolic. In the past, one had to cross a hidden bridge through the mist to reach Avalon. Now, the veil that once shrouded Avalon and the human third eye has started to clear. This clearing represents the growing connection between people and their higher selves. As more and more people spiritually evolve, the mist will continue to dissipate, allowing them to return to Avalon. What's the most important thing to understand about Avalon? The women of Avalon deserve deep gratitude, because without them, this sacred knowledge would have been lost. They safeguarded it for the future. When you return to Avalon, give thanks to the land, the trees, the water, and the mists. The energy of love, knowledge, and the connection to the universe remains in the soil and the elements. When you feel the dew of the mist on your skin, know that it carries this ancient energy, which will help you expand your mind as you ascend to higher dimensions. Tell me more about the information that was hidden. The connection to magic, nature, and alchemy. Were there any other practices that they hid in Avalon? They would gather in circles, hold hands, and use their collective energy to receive guidance and meditate more deeply. It was an advanced spiritual school where they cultivated knowledge that all humans have within but have forgotten. Political institutions wanted control over people, so this knowledge had to be hidden. Avalon was deeply connected to the universe, making it feel like heaven on earth. There was no competition, only a desire to grow and improve. They sought spiritual advancement through group practices and solitude, grounding themselves by walking barefoot, breathing the fresh air, and harmonizing with the environment. They amplified their spiritual energy by working together, understanding that collective prayers and meditation are far more powerful than individual ones. They want people to understand that everything they need is within themselves. Many humans look outside for answers, but the real power lies inside. Humanity has strayed far from its original purpose, to be stewards of the earth. The key is love, connecting with nature, and working harmoniously with each other. Did they do any other practices? They would dance. Dancing, especially movements that involve shaking the hips, has always been a deeply spiritual practice, connecting the body to the earth in a way that transcends words. In many ancient traditions, especially in Avalon, these rhythmic, hip-shaking dances were seen as sacred acts that harmonized the physical and spiritual worlds. The hips, being a powerful energy center in the body, are closely tied to the root chakra, which connects us to the earth's grounding energy. When women move their hips in these sacred dances, they weren't just celebrating, they were releasing blocked energy, opening up channels for healing, and aligning themselves with the rhythms of the earth. In Avalon, the women were chosen for their roles as spiritual leaders and healers because of their unique connection to the creation and the cycles of life. Their wombs were seen as vessels of power, not just for creating life, but for harnessing deep spiritual energy.
And we're back. So, yeah, I do find this really fascinating. And you may understand now why I described Avalon as our world of unspeakable beauty. It's that level of consciousness there that is going to make it so. We are going to be stepping into our power as creators. We have the ability to create what we want. And the importance of collective consciousness is something that always comes out. The fact that, this number is squared, 10 times 10 people is worth 100, 1,000 people is worth 1,000,000, and onwards and upwards. Which is one of the reasons why the likes of Lynn McTaggart's work has been very successful as well in pulling people together with a specific intention. And they've scientifically proven that it works. And it does work because it's all part of the quantum field theory. So scientifically, we can understand why it happens. Although I still think there is a blockage out there from a scientific perspective as well of many people who really don't want to acknowledge this as the new truth. But those blockages are going to be dropping away. I think that is the way that it's going to be. But I think, and again, this is another important thing for our WhatsApp group. And, we literally, with this time next week, that group will exist. Because this is where we can come together with this collective consciousness and keep in touch with each other and work out where we can get together and do our own specific meditations on specific objectives, which are commonly shared, and really, raise the frequency. And, we can be part of this. And this is where the world of unspeakable beauty and Avalon is going to come from. And actually, it's interesting because in April, I am going down to the area of the UK where the Isle of Avalon, the mythical land of Avalon, is based. And my nephew and I are going to do a couple of days of hiking around and searching, and I'm going to be looking for the Isle of Avalon. That's it, you know. So I'm going to work out whether the mists have cleared enough to allow me to work it out. And if I do manage to get to those mists, I want to be able to, you know, feel that mist on my skin to pull in that mystical ancient energy. Although, to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to be doing any rhythmic hip shaking. I think I would leave that for the ladies. But with that said, Jolé, would you care to come back in?
That sounds like a wonderful time. You know, that I don't know if anybody else has read The Mists of Avalon, but that part of the UK or England or whatever is fascinating to me. And now I think it's being used as a place where music, you know, Glastonbury
Absolutely.
Festival, right? Like right over there. So obviously it must mean something. And they spoke about how even the Nephilim, there's still pieces and parts of their energy in these spots. And so I'm sure when we think about the myth of fairies and the bard and all of
Yeah.
that's probably still over there, that energy,
Yeah.
so it's truly fascinating what has been hidden from us. So I was thinking when you were talking, John, there's this quote that says, you are not a drop in the ocean, but more like the ocean in a drop. And in the beginning, when I was talking in the voiceover, I said, you're everything. And I thought, oh, wow, what does that mean? But everything is energy, and we're all a part of that. And we can harness that. But the how is always the question we want to answer. And I think what does it begin in the mind, right? Through creative visualization and tapping into the energies that resonate, you can really begin to, I guess, remember.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing that crossed my mind as you were saying that, just writing it down here, we're all energy, right? And this comes back to this, the law of divine oneness, which says that, if you speak to a scientist who understands these things, they will say that we all have our own energy field. Where does your energy field end and the next person's begin? There is no edge, right? All our energies are intermingled together. We all come from the same source, right? So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, when we talk about, like many people say, it's like, I am you, you are me, we're all, we are all one. This is what it is. And it's not just about the people, it's everything, right? We're all from that
Yes.
divine creative source. So yeah, I think that's a really interesting, an interesting point there, Jolie.
Yeah, and then working to remove those blocks. And is it so much as removing those blocks, or just kind of seeing the possibilities, starting to open yourself to the possibility that you are worthy and deserving of abundance and to
Mm.
live a life of luxury? Everything we've been taught has told us, play it small, you know your place, stay in your lane.
Yeah,
If
for sure.
you're not a descendant of this bloodline, then guess what? You need to sit down somewhere and just eat your slop and go to your 9 to 5, right? So there's got to be this thought process of curiosity and critical thinking towards what is really what you're worthy of. Self-love, I can say, is the highest form of discipline, is the highest form of starting to move yourself into another timeline, because at that point, self-love means you're telling yourself the truth. You're getting out of your own way and you're allowing for the energy of the universe to flow. But not only that, there's some whimsy about self-love, because you just don't give yourself any boundaries or limitations around what it is you can achieve. That is moving us to a place of unspeakable beauty, most certainly. So let's begin with Archangels and really moving into a place where we're just, like John said, there is no edge.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. This is it. And it really interests me as well because I think you're right. It's our self-belief in believing in ourselves and realizing our true divinity is a key to this,
Yes.
right? Understanding who we really are. And I think this is where we really truly start to step back into our power. But the other thing is that this collective consciousness, these rituals, this is what interests me as well with this magic side of things. And I know that Merlin is going to lead us into the meditation, right? And that is one of the
Right.
things he speaks about is how to wield your magic, focused intention and love. The fabric of reality is shifting, right? That is what's going on right now. But understanding our divinity is key. So I do think that from a magical point of view, you look to the past and the fact that they used to have these priestesses and I saw another thing I like about this as well is that when you go back to the times of Arthur, the women were highly revered. There was no such thing as a masculine overview of everything. Okay, the men were strong and they would be the fighters, but the women were they one of the things that actually they talk about in the book is that all 13 of the knights would have their 13 wives who would all be called in to discuss all the big decisions that were made. They were just as important, bringing that feminine perspective, bringing the balance back to everything that they ever did. And, on the Isle of Avalon itself, where they had the priestesses, it wasn't a place where the male energy went because they were the ones who were more in tune with the earth and they could make the magic happen. So, there was a real understanding at that time of how powerful that feminine energy was, albeit every time the masculine and the feminine have to be balanced together in order to get to the end game, right? It's not that
Mhm.
one's any better than the other, but definitely that feminine energy is very powerful when it's wielded in a way where we get back to our connection to Mother Earth and the rituals and the ceremonies and getting to learn again what this is all about.
I think that's fascinating. And especially the part where they talked about the woman and her hips and moving of the hips and harnessing that energy. That is fascinating because if we look at society now, we can see the kind of the upside down of that in terms of it is just so out there with a sexual connotation instead of a divine connotation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Think, i.e., twerking. Like there's something beautiful and wonderful about that. But on the other side of that, it's like it can be damaging, right? So you say when these women wield their power in a way that is divine, it is different in the power that it can harness. So I just kind of want to put that out there because I found that very interesting because that's a big deal now.
Mm.
Everybody's twerking, but are you divine with it?
Yeah, that's true. I always try and be divine with my twerking, but that's just me. So yeah, fantastic. And thank you again to the for the comments, Joy and Erasmir as well. I wonder whether Erasmir is back from Greece now, but certainly I really grateful for the comments. Really do appreciate them. So Jolé, what do you reckon? Should we head into the meditation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. So we're going back to Merlin now. He's going to be telling us about how to wield our magic. It's that focused intention and love. The fabric of reality is shifting, and it's understanding our divinity that is key. So, I'll be back with you on the other side of this, and here is Merlin.
Magic is, at its core, the understanding of natural harmony. It is the art of manipulating the fabric of creation itself, based on the principles that govern the world you are in. To wield magic is to understand how to work with these principles, to bend them in alignment with your will without disrupting the balance. Magic is not a force outside of nature. It is nature, harnessed through the mind, heart, and spirit. You said you helped King Arthur become invisible. How does one make themselves invisible? To become invisible, one must elevate their energy field above the frequency of the world around them. Imagine yourself as a sphere of energy within the fabric of this realm. By raising your vibration, making your energy more ethereal, more fluid, you lift yourself beyond the perception of the lower realms. In doing so, you shift your awareness to a higher frequency, making yourself imperceptible to those still rooted in the lower vibrations. It's a matter of focusing your intention, putting your energy upwards until you're no longer bound by the frequency of the material world. The same thing is happening to the people of your time. The entire planet is undergoing a transformation, a collective awakening. In the past, individuals or small groups would rise in consciousness, but now the earth itself is shifting. The very fabric of reality is thinning, and more souls are beginning to pop up into higher frequencies. Yet, not all will choose this. Those who remain tethered to the lower vibrations, distracted by materiality, will continue to live in the denser realms. It is the inner world, the pursuit of higher ideals, and the belief in one's divinity that determines who will rise and who will remain. Is it as simple as believing in one's divinity? Yes, but many are ensnared by the distractions of the material world, devices, control mechanisms, forces working to keep people unaware of their true potential. There is a network in the shadows, striving to maintain control over those who do not awaken. But the path forward is through love, self-love, love for others, and love for the world. When you love deeply, you pierce the veil. It is through love that you can elevate yourself and help others rise as well. Yet, it is a personal choice. One must decide for themselves to walk this path. An avalanche of energy is sweeping through the consciousness of the earth. The same technology that was once used to suppress consciousness is now being used to elevate it through the spread of information. People are beginning to turn inward, seeking answers within themselves. The path to ascension is always within, and now is the time for inner growth. Beware of distorted information. Trust your intuition and seek truth. There are many beings assisting in this process, including the Archangels.
Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a few moments, and then exhale. Feel the bottoms of your feet flat on the floor, and their vessels to harness the energy of Mother Earth. As you place your palms on your thighs, open, out, allowing for that energy that comes in to move into the aura layer. Your back is straight as you sit in a comfortable chair and position so that you can focus and concentrate on your creative visualization. Move your sit bones around so you can get ready to ground your energy as you bring your awareness to your chest and command that you breathe with the rhythm of your body and that your heartbeat is synced up with your breath. From this place of focus, we're going to go ahead and create, visualize, and imagine a grounding cord that is 6 inches in diameter and connected to our first chakra, grounding itself down into the core of Mother Earth. Pay attention as it moves through the layers of the lithosphere. You see the shale and the bones. You go down the stalagmites, all of that moving down 10,000 leagues under the sea as you burst through to the asthenosphere, and you're moving down, traveling at the speed of love, rooting yourself into the core of Mother Earth, welcoming in her divine earth energy. As that grounding cord begins to just breathe life. And Mother Earth knows, they begin to get blanketed with golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles all the way down to the roots, scrubbing off anyone else's energy, anything you're ready to let go of and release, any ancestral genetic coding that no longer serves, any unhealthiness in mind, body, and spirit that may come from these roots. are now being cleaned off, while simultaneously our aura is being brought in to be 1.5 feet around us. Our higher self knows to come back and stand at the power position above our crown, and our astral body is snapped in, bringing back all the information that it gathered while we were sleeping. It's now its feet in our feet, hands in our hands, knees in our knees, hips in our hips, shoulders in our shoulders, head in our head, and the astral body is fitting inside of us like a hand fits inside of a glove. This is our soul architecture, and from here, we now do our work. So as we take a deep breath in and exhale, bring our awareness back into our heart as we resume breathing with the rhythm of our body. And we open the bottoms of our feet as we call in 15% earth energy of a color that resonates with you. You need more discipline? Bring in that yellow, or maybe the combination of red, orange, and yellow, mixing in with a little bit of that green love. Don't limit yourself. Call it all in. You want to call in joy and amusement from Mother Earth? Call in the colors of the rainbow and allow them to just come in, pool in the bottoms of your feet, traveling up the side channels of your legs, while that crown opens like the lens of a camera, and that cosmic, golden, divine life force energy knows to come raining down on your higher self, focusing itself through the aura layer, down your crown, coming into the brain and the cranium, moving down through that prefrontal cortex, moving out any worry, doubt, and fear. As I always like to say, decalcifying that pineal gland, opening up that third eye even wider, cleaning out the center of that head as it moves down and moves out any primal, animalistic energy, ancestrally, genetically, resolving and dissolving that historically, cancel, pulling, deleting on a soul core genetic level, sending to Creator's light, and replacing right there at that brainstem, right there in that limbic system, with unconditional love for others and self and unconditional forgiveness. As that energy then begins to move down that spine, lighting up each vertebra, superpowering the nervous system and the heart as it moves down, mixing in with that earth energy, and then begins to fill you up like water fills up a cup, turning every single atom and cell in your body heart-shaped, moving, working together as those tails meet, bringing that loving infinity into your body, which equals wellness, abundance, and connectivity, expansiveness, as you just open up and receive from Mother Earth and pulsate with that divine unconditional love as it just like moves throughout your body, like a carbonation feeling of just effervescence as this joy and amusement meets with that loving, cosmic, unconditional loving energy moving up. It's at your hips now. It's moving through your core. And when it reaches your heart opens like double doors, and this energy begins to pour out into your aura layer, sprouting out of your hands as it moves up into your chest, your neck, filling up your face, your head, sprouting out the side channel of the crown. And this essence is it's just so beautiful. It's so juicy and warm, and it just feels amazing. And it's just lighting up your aura layer. And it's giving you access to that archangel energy, that composite energy of all of the good, each layer of your aura, bringing you miracles, magic, wellness, abundance. And now, as you hold this space of positive life force energy pulsating in unconditional love throughout your energy field as it extends into your environment, I want you to see your most loving, good, your highest and your best, your most loving. I want you to see yourself right there at your zenith as this energy moves throughout your body. And part of your zenith is being of service. So see yourself walking into rooms and lighting it up. Plants open up in your presence. People are transformed. Animals love you. And see this energy just wafting off of you. Just rays of light, rays of love, just improving your environment. And just all of the love that you are spreading out into your environment. You are that archangel energy. See yourself creating miracles for yourself and others. I feel as if we need to focus on the back of our soul architecture and our energy. So in the back of you, make sure you clean out that energy behind your heart so that you can flow with the beautiful life force energy around you with grace and ease. Letting go of all worry, doubt, and fear. Clean out behind the heart. Allow for that energy to flow and for any blockages to resolve and dissolve themselves. What does that mean? Let go of the past. Let's do it. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And allow for that energy to flow. Allow for that trust for the universe. Mother Earth and the divine knows what is best for you. It is in you. It is you. Remove all the doubt and restore it with trust and self-love, self-motivation, resilience, and a big heaping dose of forgiveness as we put that golden sun above our head. And we're going to call all of our energy back from those experiences in our past on every timeline, on every plane, and on every level that is blocking the flow of that archangel magic energy flowing through the back. The past blocking our present as we put those roses 5 feet away from us outside our aura. Visualize this, and we now open our brow like the lens of a camera, and we put all of those people, those places, and those things from our past into the rose outside our aura. We see them float out as we call all of our energy back. All of that energy that is allowing for us, making it safe for us to access this archangel energy, allowing it to flow freely through us into our heart, through our arm channels, out through our hands, creating miracles and making magic. Call all that energy back. All of that remembering, resolving and dissolving that past on a history level, cancel, pulling, deleting on a soul core and genetic level, sending to Creator's light as we move out into those roses outside our building, calling our energy back into that golden sun above our head. We're calling back our magic, our ability to make magic, our abilities to connect with that archangel energy and allow it to move freely throughout our body as we work out those blocks behind us and in our past, move that energy into those roses outside our overland. As I gently remind you that you are breathing the rhythm of your body and your heartbeat is synced up with your breath. You are grounded and rooted into Mother Earth, with a grounding cord of a natural earth element, 6 inches in diameter, connected to your first chakra. Your aura is 1.5 feet around you. Your higher self is standing at the power position at a comfortable distance above your crown, and your astral body is snaked in as you're running 15% earth energy of a color that resonates with you. We're running all of the colors of joy and amusement as they pool into the bottoms of our feet, travel up the side channels of our legs, mix in with that 85% cosmic gold life force energy that's cascading down from the heavens, raining down on our higher self, focusing itself down through our aura layer into our crown, saturating our brain, moving out worry, doubt, and fear, calcification, and animalistic primal energy as it moves down that spine, lighting up each vertebra on its way down, powering up that nervous system, letting us know that it is safe for us to work with that archangel energy, restoring us and our magical properties as we move that energy of the past on every timeline, on every plane, on every level, out into those roses outside our aura, as we call all our energy back and that essence of Mother Earth and the divine sprouting out our feet, hands, and crown chakras. Our heart is opening, pouring love out into our environment. Each aura layer is just filled with love and abundance, lighting up that toroidal field, programming it, letting Mother Earth know what it is that we need, that we want, and how, by bringing us these things, we can be of better service. As that pyramid with the capstone above our toroidal field starts to spin and the white light encompasses the entire universe, as we sit in this glorious energy, archangel energy, magical energy, moving through love, traveling down the channels of our arms, sprouting out our hands, filling up our aura layer with so much joy and amusement and unconditional love, as we see ourselves aligned with our purpose, living the life that we are deserving and worthy of, the highest, most loving, the best, as we nurture and are of service and adding value in real time and present time to this earth. So we sit in this energy, this divine energy. And if you want to, ladies, move your hips as you breathe with the rhythm of your body. And just sit in joy and amusement and unconditional love and the magic of the archangel energy of greatness, of excellence, of alignment and success. As that nervous system reaches out beyond that aura layer, electrifying your environment with love and gratitude. So take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and as you exhale, push more loving energy out of your heart and into your environment. And take another deep breath in. And as you do that, and as you hold for a moment and exhale, I want you to give those roses outside your aura layer an energetic push, blow them up into beautiful fireworks, turning into positive creative life force energy, and giving all those people and places and things gently and with love their energy back. All that negative energy has been drained out, and you're giving them back their pure, unconditional loving energy. And now you're going to bring that golden sun with all your energy back, having it focused down that spine. It's inside of that golden light that's raining down. And as this golden sun begins to unfold itself within you with all of your magical energy back, all of your remembering, it expands out into your aura layer and just becomes one with everything, all of the goodness around you. Just allow that to expand within your energy. And when it does, I want you to take another deep breath in, and this time exhale and relax as you close the bottoms of your feet, and you see that golden energy that was yours begin to chase those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles down into the core of Mother Earth, as that beautiful energy of yours brings you into the present moment as it's combined with that earth energy and that cosmic divine life force energy. And you're clean and clear and filled with gold light. As you take another deep breath in, exhale, go ahead and close those double doors of your heart and see your hand chakras close like the lens of a camera. Allow for some of that energy to settle. As you take another deep breath in, you're going to hold it for a moment. And as you exhale, I want you to close your third eye like the lens of a camera and feel how clean the inside of your head is. As you take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, you relax your body and you close your crown like the lens of a camera and allow for that heavenly gold light to recede back into the heavens. Beautiful. As your higher self remains standing at the power position at a comfortable distance above your crown, the center of your head, clean, clear, filled with gold light. Magic, wellness, abundance return back to your body, and your nervous system is safe and lights up every room you go in. You are safe and divinely protected. You are well and filled with abundance. As you take a final deep breath in for this meditation and exhale, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Jolé. That's definitely getting us lined up with the archangelic energy. I love that. And the magic. So, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, and thank you again to the community for the comments. And, we just love having you here with us. And I guarantee that this time next week, we will have our WhatsApp group where we can do our own posting. And we're going to just subdivide it a little so we can have a general chat section. We'll have one where we're posting stuff which is specifically for Elevated Planet. And, it's going to be a beautiful way of us building stronger bridges between each other. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, Kit definitely loved the meditation there too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Kit.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Yeah. And Joy, yes, you will be there at the leading edge of our WhatsApp group. I know that to be true as well. So, okay, so we'll just begin the wrap up then now. That's just to say, as per usual, tomorrow the newsletter goes out with the edited version of this show on it. And we will be, again, as ever, anybody wants to join our distribution list for the newsletter, just drop me an email to johndrew@elevatedplanet.life. or go via our website, which is elevatedplanet.life/contact page. And on the website as well, I mean, I haven't mentioned this for the longest time, but we do have the readers and healers section there. And there you can go and explore that as well, because, we spoke a lot about Avine on there. And there's there's videos attached for every single reader and healer that's on there, just to see whether it might appeal to you. So never any pressure. It's got to feel right to you. But also Jolé herself is always open to readings and healings, and I can attest to the power of those, and you kind of hear it for yourself with the work that she does with us as well. So yeah, go and explore that, see what you think. What else do I need to remember, Jolé?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We would really appreciate it as we build our community. It can only help.
Absolutely. Yes. And we're over the magical 1,000 threshold now. So now we
Yay.
can start to shape our advertising so we don't get the dysfunctional kind of advertising in the way that I was finding before.
Yeah,
I think that's it then, Jolé, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Love you all to bits, and look forward to building our community and finding our own Avalon, our world of unspeakable beauty. So till next week. Love you all.
Bye.